Okay, just a quick demonstration of the FMC on the PMDG 737NGX that was requested by one of the viewers on the video. So basically we're here at Van Nuys Airport at the general aviation ramp. We're going to be taking off to Santa Barbara Airport, which is a relatively close flight. Our cruising altitude will be 6,000 feet for the tech route. And that tech route I'll read out to you is Fillmore VOR, Victor 186 Dino, Victor 27 to Quang, and then we'll connect to the Gaulet intersection as an initial approach fix for the ILS 7 approach into Santa Barbara Airport. So the first thing we'll do is going to go to the FMC. I'm going to put our reference airport, which is Van Nuys, which is KVNY, and up select that in line select 2. Then we go to the route portion and we up select Van Nuys once again to the origin that's already there. We're going to Santa Barbara, it's SBA, and we're November 511 Tango Sierra flight number. From here we go to the route page, which we are in, and then we'll go to page 2, next page. Here we're going to put in our route, which is Fillmore, which is Fox India Mike. We hit that in R1, which is direct. From there we're going to connect with Victor 186 to Dino intersection. And then from Dino connect to Victor 27 to Quang. And we activate this. Now we know that we're going to be taking the ILS approach into Santa Barbara, ILS 7, so we shall see here in the FMC whether or not Gaulet is a transition, which it is, as you can see here in line select 3, or right 3. So we'll do that. From Van Nuys we'll be departing normal ops 16 right for the departure. The initial heading here will be a right turn heading 210. It's called the DVA. The diverse vectoring area. Once we put that in there, 16 right, we'll continue with the flow. We'll hit init ref, and we'll use the PMDG cheat here by hitting the 0 fuel weight, and it calculates it for us. We're a very light aircraft at the moment. Little fuel and very few passengers. Put 3,000 kilos as a reserve. Cost index will be 50. It's a very short flight, so it'll be quite negligible. Our cruise altitude will be 6,000 feet per the tech route, tower en route control route. Transition altitude in the United States 18,000. And when limit, we're quite light, so we're going to derate our engines a full derate of 24,000 pounds of thrust, and then we'll leave the climb normal. Takeoff standard flap 5 here at Van Nuys. Center of gravity and our trim will be 4.905 units. Nose up units. It's already calculated our V speeds for us here, so just up select that into that. V speed V2 is 133. So what we'll do here is we will put that on the MCP as 133. The FMC will calculate the plus 20, plus 10 automatically. We'll maintain 6,000 for this departure, which is the final altitude that we'll be doing. There's no ATC on, so we'll just squawk 2200 for now. You can test the TCAS, which is going through its cycle now.
TCAS test. Pass.
We'll go to the overhead and make sure everything's set up. I did not start this cold and dark, it was a short turnaround scenario. So here we can see that the restart fans are off and the packs need to be turned on. And there they go. Alright. So what we'll do now is let's trim the horizontal stab to approximately 5 units nose up, and that should suffice. RTO, auto brakes is RTO. Engage the flight directors. In any event, so this departure will take us on a heading of 220, and then we'll, once we clear some terrain, we'll climb to 6,000 and then go direct Fillmore. So let's do the start push.
And ground, cockpit.
Go ahead, Captain.
We're all set to go up here. We've been cleared to push and start at your discretion.
Roger that, ready for push. Power and air are clear, doors closed, we are ready for pushback. Release parking brake, please.
Okay, parking brake is off, cleared to push.
Okay, what we've done is we've turned on the fuel pumps and the hydraulic electric pumps. We're going to turn off the packs here for engine start.
Brakes off, here we go.
As the engine starts, logo lights on, then the beacon light is on as well. As we push back, we'll start engine number 2 first. Hit that to ground. We'll monitor N2 and the oil pressure as it rises. Once we reach about 20% N2, we'll switch the fuel to run. We should get a good engine start on 2 here.
Brakes are set and pressure's normal.
Okay, sir. Tow bar is off. Pin is out. Watch for the pin on the right.
Alright, guys. Thanks. You're cleared to disconnect. We will be watching for the pin
turn on
and the
back
release
too.
from guidance on the right side of the airplane, and we'll see you guys next time through.
Roger that. Have a good flight.
We'll start number 1 now. See that N2 is rising, as is the oil pressure. And there's 20%. Looks like we have a good engine start on number 2. Alright. The starter has been put back to the off position. For takeoff, we'll switch onto continuous, turn on the packs, last pack, then turn off APU. Alright. Turn on the taxi lights and start our taxi now. Auto brake, sorry, the brakes are now released. I'll taxi all the way to 16 right. Let's go flaps 5. Check the controls. So for this departure, we're going to engage VNAV. We will engage the heading select, and you can see that enunciated in the FMA and also the MCP. The 210 heading is the assigned DVA for this airport, which is a right turn of heading 210. That's for terrain and obstacle separation. There's no SID in this airport, so this is what we call pilot nav, which, since there's no air traffic control, we need to be able to clear our own terrain and obstacles. And that heading of 210 degrees will suffice perfectly. There's the control tower. As you can see, we're in Maldive colors. Very unrealistic, but I like the paint. This is 737-800, by the way, but no winglets. No winglets for this 737 NG. Are approaching 16 right. Well, not close, but it's at the end of a Gulf over here. Holding the seatbelt signs there. We will, within a short amount of time, reach 6,000, which is our cruise limit. And the lower ICAS here, we're going to turn it off. And what that does is that we don't get distracted with any of the extraneous engine readouts that's unnecessary for this portion of the flight. If there's an engine failure or something that requires the attention, that lower ICAS will pop up on its own, showing and enunciating what is going on in terms of if there's an engine failure. You'll see that enunciated. So I'll do a quick brief here. Out of 16 right, we're going to fly a heading of 210. Whenever we get good positive rate and terrain clearance, we'll climb to our initial and our final altitude of 6,000 feet. Once we get some clearance, we'll go direct Fillmore, and then we'll go as filed. Later on, as we go to direct Fillmore VOR, we'll engage LNAV once we're on the intercept course, and that way the aircraft will follow the LNAV portion of the flight. Okay, we're approaching 16 right here. Landing lights are on. So go to strobe. Steady and strobe. Auto throttles are on. Nothing on the recall. Since you're on VATSIM, we should try to take a look. We're not monitoring Unicom at the moment. We're not required to, but since I'm doing a demonstration, I'm not going to do it. But however, I don't see anyone coming finals on 16 right, nor the opposite 3-4. So we're going to line up and wait here, and shortly take off. Alright. Okay, so we're clear for takeoff. Slowly advance the levers. Once that's stabilized on the upper ICAS, which it is now, we'll toga. Airspeed's alive, and there's the rising flight director. 80 knots past. B1 rotate. We have positive rate. You're up. We're clear of the terrain here. We'll take a right of a heading 210 degrees. Left autopilot to command. Auto brakes off, and then we're gonna go flaps up. As we increase our speed, the nose lowers. We're in climb mode now. On the on the FMC, we're gonna get the legs page. There's 1,000 feet to go. From L1, we will up-select Fillmore and execute, and we should hit LNAV on the MCP. And as you'll see, we'll do a approximate 30-degree turn all the way to Fillmore, and we're approaching our top of climb now. There we are at 6,000 feet. Flaps are up. We'll keep the landing lights. We'll keep all the lights on since we're below 1,000. It's a relatively short flight. We'll keep all the lights on. As you look in the FMC, you'll see a discontinuity there at 6 left. So we're going to go to page 2 and see that Gullet is the next one. So we're going to up-select Gullet and then insert it after Clang. Gullet is the initial approach fix for the ILS approach into Santa Barbara. Now as we're in the cruise portion of the flight, I looked at the chart, the ILS approach for Santa Barbara, and what we're going to do is we're going to cross Gullet intersection, which is the initial approach fix, at 4,000 per the chart. So the way you do that is where you see Gullet, where we need to cross it at 4,000. On the keypad, we're going to do /4,000, and we're going to up-select that in line select R5, and you'll see that it enunciate over Gullet. We want to execute that. The FMC will calculate our top of descent based on the crossing restriction at Gullet at 4,000. If we go to the let's see if we can get some lights in here. I'm not sure how this is going to help any. It doesn't really illuminate the FMC. Not a big deal. So from sorry about that. From Gullet. Wow, my track IR is going a little bit nuts here. I'm going to recalibrate it real quick. There you go. From Gullet, what we want to do is we want to go to the descent button, descent page rather. And as you can see in line select 2R, right 2, top of the descent is at approximately 43 miles. We're just about over Fillmore VOR now. We're just 2 miles above from it. And we'll be taking a left turn here. Nice easy turn to Henner. It's a lovely day out in SoCal today, as usual. At approximately 10 miles from our top of descent, we can start our descent, and I'll show you that as we get ready for that. I've equipped this plane with a HGS system, heads-up guidance system. It's pretty amazing how PMDG has innovated this piece of fictional simulated glass. When we start our descent portion. Okay, we're approximately about 18 miles now from our top of descent across the Gullet at 4,000. So what we're going to do now is reset the MCP altitude. The MCP. But first, let's set up our VREF. We'll go flaps 40. Relatively small runway. Auto brakes 3. Let's go ahead and reset the MCP altitude to 4,000. Okay, the ILS frequency 07 is 110.3. Put that in our nav radio, 110.3. And I'll put it as well in nav 2. Alright. The course, OBS course of that is 075. That's on the MCP as well. Alright. Approximately 12 miles from the top of the descent. Around 10 miles we can start our descent. As you can see in the ND, our top of descent is coming up. And there's a 10-mile ring. As that is over the 10-mile ring, you'll see that selected there on R2, which is depicted right there now. Okay, we're going to start a descent. We hit line select 6R. We'll execute that. And now we've started our descent to meet Gullet at 4,000. And VNAV will determine the speed and rate in which we descend to meet the Gullet at 4,000. To Santa Barbara, and I believe that's the airport over there, as you can see over the right way. An audible sound is the 3,000 foot marker to 4,000. Looks like we will reach 4,000 way before gullet, which is just fine. We got plenty of fuel to burn. And you can see the airport there in the distance. I will shut down the landing lights, but we'll engage that on now. And there's 4,000 feet. Altimeters at Santa Barbara is the same, 29074. As you can see, LNAV and VNAV are still engaged. This is quite a convenient route for the pilot. All he needs to do now is cross a little bit at or above 4,000, which we are now. And what's going to happen is as we turn, and this very basic pattern, as you can see here, we're on the downwind for runway 7. We'll start to slow down once we start our base turn. And then on final, we'll configure the aircraft for landing. So we're approximately parallel now to Santa Barbara Airport, which is there. As you can see, the blinking lights, and you can see the airport beacon there in the distance. Very small, but still visible. There's nothing showing up with TCAS, so Santa Barbara is awfully quiet. As you can see in the PFD, the localizer has been identified. Obviously the sensing is not close to us because we're still not only not aligned with the localizer, that diamond is going to remain empty and will only come filled in and moving towards the center once we turn base to final, which we shall do here shortly. As you can see on the ND, a spot called D-cell. So from here we're going to slow down our speed over that. We're going to go to speed intervene, which is over here at the MCP, just right above the level change button. We'll do that now. We're still in VNAV, but we're going to be determining the speed in which VNAV will descend. And there we are, we're over the decel rate. Going to reduce speed to 210 now. And we're going to bring out our speed brakes for that. And here we are turning now from our downwind to the base leg. It's a very dark night outside. You can't really see the horizon. There's no horizon. A bit of stars, but not very much. You can see the coast over there. So we're going to look down back at our instruments. And there's 210, approximately. We'll slow down further here to 190. As you can see that the glide slope is rising there. What we can do now is we can descend to 3,500. We'll go 5 level change on this one. There's 1,000 to go. I'm gonna go flaps 2. glide slope. It's further reduced now. And you see the trend vector there on the airspeed going down nicely. I'll go to flap 5 here. And continue reducing. Looking at the approach, as you can see in the FMAs, VOR loc, and then glide slope, those are armed. As soon as the glide slope and the localizer are active and alive, autopilot is going to connect with that. Flaps 10. And there we go, turning to final now. Here's the gear down. Beautiful turn here. And there's a localizer, that's alive and that's going to capture here, and it is captured now. Localizer's in control, glide slope is not yet captured. Just continue reducing. And there's a glide slope. We have a nice slow approach of 123 knots, and we can do that now. And we'll go to flap 30 now. We'll retract the speed brakes, and we'll arm them. And we'll go to flaps 40. And if you look outside, it will be perfectly aligned with the runway, which you can see out in the distance. We have a single channel. As you can see that the sensing of the localizer has now switched to a more sensitive distance. And as that localizer centers, autopilot will do that beautifully. Or beautifully on the glide slope. Following the glide slope down, looks like gentle 700 feet per minute. Localizer centering nicely here. And sitting in the cabin. Lights are on.
Radio altimeter.
There's 2500. Okay, the before landing checklist, the speed brakes are armed, the auto brakes are 3, flaps are 40, the gear is down, so we are now clear to land. 1,000 feet, you know?
1,000.
There we go. Our minimums for this is 200 on the barrel. It's clear as a bell out here, so we're gonna land just perfectly fine. They're 600 feet. Check.
Plus 100.
Okay.
200.
That's our minimum.
Minimums.
Autopilot is disconnected. Now we're on the flight director. There's a rising runway.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Floated a little bit there. We'll take it right here in golf. In the meantime, we'll turn on the APU. Let's bring the spoilers up and the flaps up. Landing lights off. Strobes steady. Looks like the APU is on now. We'll just walk here at the general aviation route. Okay, clock brake sets. APU on. Just turn on the dome light here real quick. It's a little bit dark. Oops. Sometimes this shock hour is so recalcitrant. Okay, there's a dome light. Okay, strobes are off. And shut down the engines. Alright. Alright, I know it wasn't the most perfect landing. And I'm also still learning this plane, but that's pretty much a demonstration of quick short flight from VNY to Santa Barbara Airport.